you, I present to you Maddrama Performance Troupe. Thank you.
And God stepped out.
Step on out there, God.
And stood in the midst of those United States, in the homeland of the free. And he looked around and saw academic minds being molded in the hallowed halls of Harvard and Yale.
He saw them in their regal, in their astuteness. But God said, the Harvard, their brain, that they do not cater to the culture of African kings and queens.
The Yales are wonderful, but they do not speak to the souls of black folk.
Not to mention their football games.
And God said, I'm bored. And as far as the academic eye of God can see, whiteness covered everything. Whiter than the snow-covered rock in the heart of winter.
And God turned his face toward the plains of Pennsylvania. And God smiled, and the whiteness rolled up on one side, and Cheney University stood shining on the other. And God said, that's good.
Then God reached out and took that light, that institution for colored youth, and God rolled that light around in his hands until he made this nation shine with young black educators teaching, who many thought were the young teachers. And he set those black beacons of educational sun ablaze throughout these United States. And he took that light that was left from the Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, and God gathered it up into a shining ball and flung it into the darkness of Lincoln, spangling the world of academia with Lincoln University.
Then down in the darkness and the light, God hurled a roll of promises for American men and women of the African descent.
And God said, that's good.
Then God himself stepped on there, with Cheney on his right hand and Lincoln on his left, and those black stars. Oh yes, those beautiful black seeds that were nurtured about, God held
know who put me on program after Maddrama.